Marissa, and I'm here with my co-host Dystro. Say hi. Oh, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, there you are. How's it going, Dystro?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope everybody's having a really good week. Feeling a little tired tonight, but I'm a girl, so yeah. uh, So, before we get into tonight's episode, excuse me, I have a very little special update about someone we did an interview with way back at the start of this YouTube channel. So, if you guys remember Duke Stump, also known as Dean, our good friend Dean from downstate New York, we interviewed him way back at the start of this channel. So, if you guys haven't checked it out already, go ahead and do that. He is a former professional wrestler who actually is going to be going back into training at the end of August with Brian Kendrick. Now, I think I mentioned that already, but there is something new about Dean. I guess we'll call him Dean for now, that I'd like to talk about. So tomorrow night, I think it's somewhere in his hometown down in southern New York. He has his own little show slash gig that he is doing. He actually has a musical career that he has kickstarted. He's releasing an album as well sometime this year. He's released a new single called Beautiful Blonde. So I guess we'll put that at the end of this video. If you guys like to go check that out, please, please, please go ahead and do so. It is a fucking amazing song. He is going to go places, and we wish him the best of luck on behalf of the Reckless Paradise podcast at his little gig tomorrow night. We hope all goes well. And we know you're going to go places, man. We cannot wait to have you back on the show. Just our schedule has been so tight lately with, episodes that we've been trying to do as a duo. We haven't found any episodes yet for you to be in quite yet, but we will let you know down the road when we can get you into one. But again, on behalf of the podcast, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow night at your little gig or show, whatever you want to call it. And we also wish you the best of luck at the end of August when you go and train with Brian Kendrick. You are going to go places, my friend. It is an honor to be your friend.
Yeah.
I just had to get that out there. So, at the end of this episode, I will put a link to Beautiful Blonde at the top right corner of the video. If you guys would like to go check that out, please feel free to do so. Send them some love. Tell them that we sent you guys there. All right, so let's get into tonight's episode. So, we're doing debate hour. Dun dun dun. we need to come up with some kind of fucking sound effect. Oh man. So we're bringing back debate hour. It has been quite some time since we've done a debate hour episode. This time is a triple threat between the three faces of Mick Foley. Now, if you do not know who Mick Foley is in the professional wrestling world, oh boy, fasten your seatbelts because it is going to be a wild ride. Mick
A
Foley
bumpy ride.
has to be one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Even though I used to be scared of him when I was a little kid. When I first started watching wrestling in like '07 or '08, I used to be terrified of him. Every time I heard his theme song come on, I'd run up the stairs. I'd be so fucking scared.
It's like, I mean, I can see why. Because like, some of his well, one of his characters was just out of this world and kind of freakish.
Well, the thing is, at the time, Mick Foley was just Mick Foley. He wasn't playing a persona during this time period. This was like towards the end of his wrestling career. He was just a regular old wrestler, but he still had like a psycho kind of demeanor to him, I guess. And plus, his theme song started out the car crash, so it kind of scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, and it kind of freaked me out. Just the way he looked kind of freaked me out when I was a kid, but now I absolutely love him. He's one of the best freaking hardcore wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. So basically, what we're going to do, we're going to discuss all three faces or personas, we could call it, of Mick Foley. He had three personas. We're going to start with Mankind because that's like one of the
Most
main,
iconic.
that's like the most iconic one right there. Um, Mankind. So Mankind is a character where he wore kind of like this mask. Like, how do you want to describe this Dystro, this so-called mask?
It was kind of, I think it was like leather. It was like a leather mask, but it kind of reminded me of I'm trying to think. Kind of like not like Leatherface, but like kind of like Leatherface-esque sort of thing.
Right. He also wore this like white baggy shirt, but like when he started his feud with Undertaker, he had like a tie with the white shirt that he came out
Have
to
a
the
nice
ring in. And "Have a nice day" was his little catchphrase. Still is up to this day.
day.
He's, I believe, Mankind. According to what I have written here, Mankind started. His character made his debut in 1996, back in WWF days. He had a really iconic feud with Undertaker during, the Mankind days, we'll call it. Um, for example, you have your match, the Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker at King of the Ring '98, where he fell through the cage in the center. Didn't he fucking get pushed? Like, didn't he like get fucking pushed off the top or whatever?
He got thrown off by Undertaker, and he went through the announce table. And Jim Ross on commentary, he did not know that was gonna happen,
He's like,
and
"My God, stop the damn match!"
he enough's enough. But he did not know that was gonna happen, so he for shoot thought he was dead.
Oh my
He
God.
he thought he died after that table bump. And then as soon as he got back up and stuff like that, he was just like, "What the hell is going on with this guy?" You know? And then the another iconic moment where he got back body dropped through the cage cell door.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. He fell through the center of the door.
Oh my God, that had to be like the sickest bump to take.
Didn't he like go through the ring or something? Like the ring kind of like
Yeah,
collapsed a little bit.
yeah, yeah. He went through well, he didn't go through the ring, but it made a huge like man size
Yeah,
or
that's what I meant.
size mankind size crater. Yeah.
Oh my God. Jeez, I gotta watch that match again. It's been a while. I don't know if I have it on DVD or not, but I can always look.
It's it's on YouTube probably
Or
somewhere.
Daily Motion or something.
Yeah.
So according to what I have here, he also entered the '98 Royal Rumble 3 times, one for each character, by the way.
Mhm.
That is fucking crazy. Like, he must have been tired after that night. Like, going into the
Oh,
Rumble 3 times.
I bet. Yeah. I think it was WWE 13 that showed it. And like after you like beat mankind and stuff like that, it's like I think like several more entrants come in, and then you hear comes Dude Love, and then another like when you eliminate him, another more entrants come in, and then it's like here comes Cactus Jack, and I'm like, what the like what the like I just beat this guy like
It's fucking funny, honestly. But, man, hey, it counts. It's like 3 different wrestlers, 3 different personas, all played by
get paid
the
three
same
times.
dude. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. Now, one match I think of in particular with Mankind. I've watched this match a few times because I used to have a Shawn Michaels DVD set, which I don't have right now. It's at my mother's. I'd like to get it back somehow in the future, but I could probably replace it. So HBK versus Mankind at In Your House. Mind Games, I believe, was the name of the pay
Hmm.
per view or something like that.
Hmm.
Yes, I remember that. HBK acted like he was scared shitless by this dude. Like, oh my God.
A another mankind match that comes to mind is the last man standing match at Royal Rumble in '99, I believe.
Last Man Standing. Well, remember, I haven't really watched a lot of the older stuff.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like,
That's like one of the most iconic feuds of like the late or early to like mid '90s
oh,
there.
wow.
Because like it was Rock when he was like, coming, before he became, megastar Rock and all that stuff. And here comes Mankind, and he was WWF champion at the time. And there was like they had like a last man standing match, they had an empty arena match, they had all kinds of match stipulations because all their matches got more and more violent every time they fought.
Literally.
And then yeah, like the finish of that match was just like it got people kind of sour for it, but it's like, I mean, hey, it had to protect both, but
Now, is there anything else you want to add about Mankind at this point?
Oh, well, let's see. He was a three-time hardcore champion, I believe,
Didn't
too.
he win? I think he won the WWF title as this character.
Yeah, he won it from Rock on Raw in I think 90s. Oh, it was January 4th, 1998.
Oh wow! So at the start of '98. Oh my God, that's you're the ice storm up here in northern New York. Oh
Yeah.
man, I gotta do an episode about that. Even though I wasn't alive, but my dad has knowledge of it. But anyways, that'll be for another episode. Mankind was also kind of like I said, a psychological kind of character. Like he had like he was always paranoid, but like you know what I mean. Like he just had some really like so-called issues in this persona. Like he was mentally unstable.
He was kind of like schizophrenic, sort of.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much what I was thinking. Did he ever have like a coffin match with Undertaker during that feud? Or
Um,
casket, whatever, same thing.
I know at some point they did. I'm trying to think, but I remember. I think it was like Mankind and Rock versus Big Show and Undertaker on like SmackDown or something. And this was like way before like I think this was like few episodes into the SmackDown run in like '99, and it was for the tag titles and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I I don't even remember, but I mean, hey, it could have happened at some point. I just don't remember.
Right. All right, so let's move on to Cactus Jack here. I don't have
Right.
much written for Cactus Jack, but he's like the hardcore
Hardcore legend.
persona. Yeah, this is where kind of it all began. I believe this was his first persona he came up with, Cactus
Hmm.
Jack.
Hmm.
Um, started this blah, 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 this face started during a Memphis-based wrestling promotion. This was the start of Cactus Jack. This is where it all began. It was at a Memphis-based wrestling promotion. Geez, there's a lot of like smaller promotions back then, and I'm sure there are now. Obviously, he had
Hmm.
no mask, just a really hardcore persona. I believe when he got his ear off, he was in his Cactus Jack persona.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
That was
correct.
that was during his feud with Vader. I
Hmm.
think it was a match in Germany, I believe.
I think yes,
His
because I
ear got caught
remember.
in between the ropes.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Oh, that poor
Ugh.
guy. Believe it or not, I didn't know Foley only had one ear until like 2 years ago.
Mhm.
I had no idea until I watched the A&E docu series that they did about Foley, and I didn't know he only had one ear. I'm like, what? Nobody told
Yeah,
me this. My dad's like, yeah, you didn't know that? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. My dad's
I
like,
mean,
yeah, he got his ear ripped off in a match. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah, I mean, more power to him. Like he still did his grind all throughout these years with just
Oh,
missing one ear.
like I can't imagine that. Like only being able to like hear out of one ear. Like, oh, I can't even imagine that.
I mean,
I'd be, I'd be
I could,
uncomfortable.
I couldn't imagine what his wife and kids had to see every time, or even imagine what they had to um think about being like, oh yeah, your husband's ear got off, and it's like, what? It's just, ugh.
Like every time I think about Cactus Jack, I think of Vader because he had the
Oh yeah,
iconic feud with Vader. He had that I think it was a Texas death match or something like
yep.
that with Vader at Halloween Havoc.
Hmm.
Oh my lord. And
They
then I
beat the
also
shit
think of,
out of each
oh
other.
my god, yeah. And then I also think about my number one favorite match of all time, which was him versus Orton at Backlash '04. That is my favorite match of all time. It put Orton on the map, helped kickstart his career. He became well known,
Legend killer.
legend killer. That was a fucking fantastic match. I still have that on DVD. You can find it online as well. Um, Definitely go give it a look. I absolutely love that match. That's like the one match I can really think of when it comes to Cactus Jack is that match. Like, wow. But there are a few other ones that we could mention, like basically any match of Triple H at this point, from like Royal Rumble 2000 or No Way Out 2000 or Raw 97. Like, there's so fucking many. I guess he had a
Yeah,
thing with Triple H.
yeah. It's like one of those like feuds, like iconic feuds at the time, because like Triple H was just this mega. douchebag heel, and Cactus Jack was just like, the lovable baby face. And, it's like you kind of want to see Triple H get his ass kicked, and that's what people paid money for. But it's like at the end, it's like I remember the finish to the Royal Rumble match, and they had did the like the thumbtack spot, and I think like Triple H like had poked one of them, and go, and like they were gonna do a backdrop on Triple H, and Triple H got out of it, and Cactus starts running, and then he just backdrops Cactus onto the thumbtacks, and he Triple H pins him, and he just kicks out at like 1.5. I'm like, holy crap!
Oh my
and
god.
then and then like Mick was just like, hit me again, do it again, and I think like this was like just an audible, like they wanted to make like make Mick look like a legitimate badass and defeat sort of thing. So like Triple H had positioned Mick over the thumbtacks, and they did a pedigree on the thumbtacks.
Oh, good lord. Well.
And yeah, like that put him out for the count sort of thing. But like the visual at the end, you see Mick with like I think like a thumbtack or two, and like kind of there's thumbtacks in his back, of course, but there's thumbtack like or two in his head.
Oh,
Oh, the fuck! Like, oh my god!
Jesus
It's like,
Christ.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but it's like, oh my god!
Oh, that's nasty. Nasty.
But hey,
Oh,
hey,
God.
he gave us our money's worth during
Oh,
that
yeah.
whole run too, because it's like he he transitioned from Mankind into Dude Love, which we'll probably talk about in a minute or two, and then he transitioned into Cactus Jack and all this stuff, and it's like, the Mrs. Foley's maybe baby boy line. It's like
Jesus Foley's baby
that
boy.
Mrs. Foley baby boy, and it's just like, oh my God.
Oh, man. All right, so let's jump into Dude Love. Now, this is more of a goofy character. He originated from Foley's home videos, which was like back when he was growing up as a teenager. This was a character that he had envisioned in his mind when he was growing up as a teenager. And luckily for him, Vince brought it to life and Vince approved of it and stuff like that. So Dude Love came to life in pro wrestling. And I'm kind of glad it did. Like I said, more of a goofy character, more kind of I guess according to a lot of people, it's the forgotten face of Foley. Not many people
Hmm.
remember this, which I find a little odd because like every time I think of Mick Foley, I'm like, oh yeah, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mankind. uh,
Hmm.
but he made his debut back in 1997. Dude Love did. He had teamed with Steve Austin as well, quite a few times.
Yeah, I remember this too.
That's like a
Um,
fucking weird combination. Like you got a fucking uh no bullshit taking fucking beer drinking Steve Austin, and you have this fucking hippie 70s looking man, Dude Love. Just
because yeah, I think at the time, if I remember correctly, this was when I think Steve was world champ, and I think this is like when before like Dude Love became like heel kind of Dude Love, and he was like working with Vince at the time too, and then they they had kind of like shoehorned Dude Love into like the world title picture, kind of being like, Vince's boy sort of thing.
yeah.
And like it was like I think it was they fought at over the edge, and I think Unforgiven.
I've got a couple Dude Love matches here written down. Him versus Steve Austin at Backlash 99. And then Dude Love versus Triple H. Wow, shocker. At SummerSlam 97. Now, neither of those matches I've seen because, like I said, I haven't went back the old stuff yet. The only old stuff I've seen is what I have on DVD, pretty much.
I do remember the Backlash match. I do remember
Oh man, dude, love
because
though. Like I love his. I'm sorry, I love
the
his.
ow have
Yeah, like
mercy.
his theme song, his fucking background video, like that plays when he comes out, like him just dancing. And there's like freaking animated fish just like going across the screen. He's like swimming or something or flying, and it's like, what the fuck kind of acid trip are we on, WWF?
They were smoking something.
Literally though, but hey, listen, I love Dude Love. On my when I talk to my friends, like including Dystro here on Discord, like if someone tries to roast me, I'll say "ow," and then I'll post a fucking Dude Love gif. Oh man. Oh, so what happened during that '99 match at Backlash?
Oh God, shit.
Like, let's hear a
Uh,
small little synopsis, I guess we could call it.
well, the back the backstory of that was like, Vince did not want Steve Austin as champion. Let's be honest. And he was like trying to just do everything in his power to rip Steve off Steve Austin of the championship. So, like, I think it was like a Raw, and this is like way before SmackDown even became a thing. On Raw, Steve Austin had come out and he's like, listen here, you dumbass son of a bitch, and stuff like that. It's like, no, you're costing like my my title shots and all this stuff like that. And it's like, and he's talking to Vince about like, like I could beat you with one arm tied behind my back. And he did that. He actually did that on Raw, and he fought Vince behind, like, with one arm tied behind his back.
Oh my
And
god.
then before even the match even got started, here comes Dude Love coming out. And I think Jim Ross on commentary is like, "What the hell is this dude? Like, what the hell is this dude doing out here?" And then like he looks like he's gonna go attack Vince, but he turns around and he puts the Sacco in his mouth, in Steve Austin's mouth and stuff like that, and like he became like heel for Vince. So like then like I think like Dude Love was like kind of like getting us the edgier side of him, like kind of like calling back to like Cactus Jack sort of in a way, and like they had like a hellacious match at Backlash because it went like all over the arena and so, and plus this was like the 90s and stuff like that, and this was like when Attitude Era was still a thing. And it was no DQ, and I think Vince was the guest referee too.
Oh
And
man.
it was like when when Vince got knocked down, Pat Patterson became the ref, and then when Pat got knocked down, then Gerald Briscoe became the ref.
Oh my
And
god.
the person that saved the day was Undertaker
Oh man.
because he knocked them both out, and I think he like chokeslammed both of them through the announce table.
Oh my god.
And I was like, man, those two old men, man, they got their money's worth. They gotta get paid a lot. But I think like in the end, like Austin was he tied up Vince in the ropes, and Dude Love had a chair, and he was like going towards Austin, but then he whacks Vince in the face, and I was like, oh, oh shit, like it's like because like CTEs now and all this stuff, and like chair shocks back then, like no, they were not protected,
Oh
like
no.
at
Hell
all.
no.
Like if you told somebody like, "Hey, whack me in the face as hard as you can," oh, they'll do it.
Oh
They
well, yeah.
like JBL and all that stuff like that. He took all those chair shots
Oh my
to the
god.
face. I was like, "Oh my god!" But
Jeez.
in the end, like Steve Austin retained and stuff, and Like he uses Vince's like lifeless body, and he uses his arm to count the three his damn self, and then he rings the bell himself.
Oh my lord. Jesus. Well, that sounds like a fucking wild ass match.
Oh, it was. It was.
All right, so I think we've touched base enough on all three faces of Foley. All right, so the question finally arrives: Mankind, Cactus Jack, or Dude Love? Who do you prefer, Dystro?
I will let you go first because I'm kind of like on the fence on two of them, but I think I just need like a little bit more time to like, you know, do the pros and cons sort of thing. So I'll let you go
I
first.
think I've got my pick pretty much down. And guys, make sure to let us know what you guys think as well. Who's your pick? Mankind, Cactus Jack, or Dude Love? Now, for me, just based off of like who I have more experience of watching, I'd have to say Cactus Jack because I've seen a lot of different Cactus Jack matches in my lifetime, you know, from like modern stuff to some old stuff. Not a lot, but some. Like, for example, like I said, Cactus Jack versus Orton at Backlash 04. That is like my favorite match of all time. That's like my number one favorite match of all time. And I like the hardcore stuff. And I wish we had more of it in today's modern wrestling area, especially in WWE, because like you don't see that shit anymore, you know? Like now it's like all peachy and like PG-13, like it's all about the kids. Like, come on, can we go back to like the ruthless aggression era where kind of things kind of like you didn't care like what you said on TV, you didn't care what you did on TV. Like it was just about having fun and doing what you enjoy doing. And for Mick Foley, obviously he's like a hardcore legend. And him being Cactus Jack, I feel, is where he showed his true potential as a pro wrestler. Not to mention he lost his fucking ear as that character. Like, oh my god.
Can't get more
Honest
hardcore than that.
right. So like because like, you know, I'm like a hardcore fan. I love hardcore matches, you know, back to ECW or even GCW or just I love hardcore matches. So I'm gonna have to go with Cactus Jack for this one. Plus I've seen a lot of his matches too. So
Now, when you were talking about the, TVPG thing, I heard, don't quote me on this, but I heard that at SummerSlam, I think they're going to be doing TV 14. I think they're going to go to that route now.
I've heard that as well. I guess like you said, I don't know how true that is. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, because SummerSlam is this Saturday. Um,
Because if it is, I want some blood. I
I want some fucking blood.
want some blood. I want some carnage. The main event, Last Man Standing,
Some
of course.
death, some obituaries.
This motherfucker died on this day.
I want a fucking obituary.
This on this day, that motherfucker was dead. Totally off topic. I'm sorry, but
Oh man.
but okay, my my choice, it's gotta be Cactus Jack.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like you said, like from the hardcore death matches that he said. Okay, mind you, he started this character in WCW and stuff like that too. Like he had this character into WCW and in all throughout Japan too. Like he wrestled Terry Funk, he wrestled like all these hardcore matches and stuff like that. And like him and Terry Funk, they had like a heated rivalry going back to like days in Japan too. And I'm like, wow. I was like, okay. So between, like, okay, Mankind's like he's more noticeable, of course. And then Dude Love, like he's kind of like less noticeable sometimes because it's like, he's just it's like you blink and you miss it sort of thing. But Cactus Jack is more most memorable because of his matches, the the way he cuts like another promo that I can remember was from like ECW and stuff. He go, he's hardcore, he's hardcore, he's hardcore, and then he just breaks into that Cactus Jack character. It's like, well, I don't think you people don't understand what hardcore is. And he just breaks like kind of like down a little bit, and it's just like that flip on a switch makes it for me, sort of thing. And that's
Right.
why I like about Cactus Jack.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Me and Dystro are on the same page here. Cactus Jack is our winner, I guess. But again, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know who your pick is. Is it Mankind? Are you more of like the psycho kind of dude? Are you a Cactus Jack fan like us? Are you hardcore? Are you more of a classic Mick Foley kind of person? Or are you Dude Love? Are you into like the hippest cat in the fucking pro wrestling business? Let us know in the comments below. We would actually like to hear from you. All right, so I guess that's the conclusion of Debate Hour, the three faces of Mick Foley. Now, I guess I could announce the next two episodes because they're both from the same series. This Sunday, we are doing Nostalgia Days, Snack Days, Part 2. Yes, you heard it here, folks. We're going to continue our Nostalgia Days series and continue the Snack Days episode because Part 1 was so big and so long that we didn't have enough time to fit every single snack or beverage into the episode. So we decided to do a Part 2 because why not? You know, nostalgia. And a week from today, Thursday, we're doing another Nostalgia Days episode known as Fair Days. My county fair is coming up August 7th through the 14th. So I figured I might as well do a Nostalgia Days episode about the fair. And I'm sure, Dystro, you've probably been to some county fair, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I figured we could do that because that is the week the fair starts. Like I said, it starts on the 7th of August. So I'll be doing it the Thursday before the fair starts. So I figured get myself a little hyped up for the fair. Plus, it's like the best time of the year. Duh. So, two Nostalgia Days episodes back to back coming to you guys within the next week. So, yeah. So, if you guys are interested in hearing the second half of the Snack Days episode, be sure to tune in this Sunday. It is going to be fun. I absolutely love the Nostalgia Days series we're doing on this channel. It brings back a lot of memories, brings back a really good feeling. So, without further ado, if you guys enjoyed our content, be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for sticking around to the very end. If you did, we greatly appreciate your support. Be sure to follow us on our social media by clicking the link in the description below, which will take you to our link tree, which literally has everything there you guys need, such as the Instagram accounts, TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, you name it. We're pretty much everywhere except Facebook. I don't feel like posting Facebook because, yeah. But anyways, be sure to follow us on our social media to keep up to date on literally anything that has to do with this podcast, including, you know, I don't know, like if something happens with the weather where we can't record, we'll post updates on social
We
media,
will let
obviously.
you.
Yeah, if something goes wrong. So, yeah, that's it for tonight's episode. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys this Sunday. Peace.
Peace.